Hello, happy February the 1st, guys, wherever you are on the planet. I'm sure by the time you watch this, it'll be somewhat close to February the 1st. Okay, so when I first started this channel, as well as keeping up with the channel, part of the biggest intent behind of having this channel and having it keep running is to have no BS, meaning no bullshit type of thing where you get to see different faces, different facets, different um, cycles or different areas of my life, even though you may not be able to see through every single part of me or what I was going through or what I'm trying to say throughout the videos. Um, the point is, there's multiple points, but as to why this channel exists and why it's still going. But guys, we're human. We're gonna feel. We're gonna feel high. We're gonna feel low, and we shouldn't have to just put up a front that someone has a reputation and they got to keep up with appearances 24/7 when that's not the case. You know, um, I don't believe in that. Though I've said in videos like I've had to pretend. Um, it's more so of an emotional aspect of what I've had to pretend. And in the long run, that only affects me. It doesn't really affect anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Because um, I wasn't really aware, in a sense, of how to deal with emotions. Because I think all my life I would just break down emotions different than most people. But then it cuts to a certain point where your own emotions become like clogged, like a sink. You know, it's clogged, and then once it's like taken out, the can you please stop that? 24/7 licking yourself? Please stop it. He sits on my lap and he just starts bathing himself. So, and then the emotions become overwhelming. And then my first instinct is to just rationalize everything and start thinking, how to do this, and I just want to say there's no right or wrong. Like, why somebody doesn't have to be not doing that or yes feeling that or something, but I'm just at a point in my life where the raw deal is the best. Electric, raw, you know. And I say electric because I think I have a lot of power, inner power. And I'm aware of that. And it's not an egoistical type of awareness. It's more because I've always kind of kept it to myself. I don't go around telling people I'm powerful, except now. But I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I don't mean in a way where it's like, whatever, if that makes any sense. But yeah. So I'm going to be renovating this place again. The person who owned it before me, they really neglected this place. When I first moved in, all the electricity was going out and like sparks. And as if I didn't have enough shit on my plate at that time. And there was leakage like near the sink in the kitchen and the balcony. All the tiles were like destroyed. So I'm going to redo the flooring. And the washroom is like okay, the tiles are fine, right? Because it's only like a 15-year-old building, but it's like seriously neglected. And the builders, they screwed everything up. Like, they did it very quick. So there's a certain piece of glue that they didn't properly put on. So I'm redoing the whole thing, and I'm gonna have 6-pointed stars, kind of like 3D on the tiles. It's interesting. And then I don't know, I'm thinking about what I'm gonna do. Either rent out this apartment eventually, and I have the intention of buying a house. I want a house. Either buying a small house and slowly building it into a bigger home, or so on and so forth. So, today's February 1st. Mercury goes direct in about 3 to 4 days, which is exciting. Venus went direct on the 29th of January. So if I'm not the only one, I'm sure I'm not the only one where like literally you're fine, everything's fine, right? Or you believe you're fine. And then all this pressure right here all the way down, and from down up comes right out, and you're feeling and you're feeling and you're feeling, and it's like tears just started dropping. And I think it was like 3 nights ago where I literally almost pulled a 24-hour not sleeping. Can you please stop? Thank you. He's just bored. When he's bored, he starts acting up because he's not getting my attention. Excuse me. So you know what you're doing isn't right. Because if you didn't know, you wouldn't stop. You would have stopped. You wouldn't have stopped. You know that. You know what you're doing isn't right. He's trying to chew on the cable. I have a TV cable, but I don't have a TV. And he just sits there and starts chewing. And I've had to put tape, this thick tape on it, so he doesn't succeed at chewing it. Anyways. So basically, okay, you know what? You're irritating me. Please, go away. Can you go? Go away, please. Okay, what is it that you want, huh? He's getting all emotional. What? So Mercury direct. Okay, if I'm not the only one who had literally like ex people try to come into my life, ex friends, ex whoever, people I haven't really dealt with or talked to in a few years, you know what my answer was? Don't even respond, because if I haven't talked to you in 2-3 years and there was no solution then, there's not going to be a solution now. And it's interesting because I was literally saying that in the last videos that I had. I'm not the same person I was 2 years ago, okay? Because 2 years ago I had the intention. I was living in the Actors Building. I was intentionally trying to have this place invested by multiple investors, you know? And it worked. So of course, in that case scenario, I had to associate with people, multiple people that, you know, personally I wouldn't deal with on a personal level, but you know, business is business. So but enough about me. So Mercury is going direct, and I think it's about time for you to start making the revision of everything that you've wanted to do in the past year or 2 years or the last several years. Is probably a good time to start moving forward now, because we have a lot of planets that are practical, that is aligning us to get things going. North Node is finally now in Taurus. Taurus is the builder. Saturn is also a builder. Saturn is a very slow builder, but Taurus is one of the first building signs. And it's just very important that you just, the way I look at it is the time is going to go by anyways. So you might as well just every day or every other day or once a week, just do something. So if you're, or at least document something or get something done for yourself, for your goal, you know. I think for me personally, I'm just extremely drained because I put in so much energy and effort, and I was all about go, 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 go the last how many years of my life, the last decade, taking care of everybody else, healing other people, healing myself. You know, when I had a shaved head and I had that headache in the back of my neck, I was attacked. I went through all this light therapy. And then it does affect you after. I'm not gonna lie. Like when the war broke out, I wasn't really showing it, but I was like, it was hitting me because I experienced certain things before that, like the attack that I experienced. So I knew what was gonna happen and stuff, right? So Things will happen after. So I've been in this I've been in this rest, regeneration, rejuvenation, I'm a firm believer that DNA and cellular structure heals itself if you naturally rest and allow yourself to heal. But mind you, the girl, such as myself, who has always found solutions to problems all my life. I've always been the solution finder. I've always worked to make things better for myself and other people. Came to that point in her life, which was 2020, 2021, where everything became, I wouldn't say dead end, but the ways of everything I was doing wasn't working anymore. The passion of all that wasn't working anymore. So it became almost like a dead end of how I was doing it. So I got to that point where I felt like this, and my bones like this, it just twisting, and my insides, and pressure, a different type of pressure than my head, and all that. More of still getting headaches. I had severe headaches. I went to the doctor last month, 2 months ago. He's like, from the stress and the pressure, your septum is destroyed again. So we're going to have to do surgery on you again, because I have inflammation in my nose. I always knew that. But I was always against surgery. I never wanted to do. And I'm allergic to anesthetics. I almost died off of that years back. The first time I had to have surgery. Back like years ago, long time ago, several decades ago. I'm allergic to Tylenol 3 and codeine. So I literally, if I take that one more time, I'm dead. Like, they know, like, many doctors have told me I get so severe allergic reactions that the more you take something, that's it, you're gone. You're not healing from it. So back to the solution finding. It's like that point in your life, that girl who was always like, this works for me. The girl that was all about nature heals me. The girl that was all about go for a walk, it heals you. The girl that was all about color therapy, it heals you. The girl that was all about play music, it heals you. The girl that was all about tarot, crystal, divination, it heals you. All that at that point, 2020 to 2021, I was like, nothing is doing anything for me anymore. What's going on? I listen to binaural sounds. The sound is just triggering, making me go crazy, which years back, that shit used to heal me like crazy. So I got to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm just going to let things be. I can't fight anything. I'm not going to fight anything. I'm just going to let shit happen and rest, and I found the purity in my psychology business and counseling and reading for other people, listening to other people's problems. It's like it brought me back to when I was like 15 to 17 years old, when I was doing co-op and feeding the sick and, millionaires who became disabled and their family members left them, and listening to them. And it becomes a mirror effect where you're like, sometimes you just have to deal with sickness and not try to fix it. Does that make sense? Like, sometimes you just have to listen to people. Sometimes you just have to not say anything. And sometimes all you need is to get all that shit out of your system. Because I think with me, my family, and just people that have known me, like, if I was to at one point or even now come out and start talking about all the overwhelming shit that's happened in my life to people, it's like, I'm sure there's people that do honor and respect, because I could feel it. They don't even have to come up and tell me. I could feel they honor and respect the fact that I'm still here, the fact that everything, and I do see it through some people. But there comes a point where you need to get it out, and then there comes a point where it's like, enough is enough, because if you don't express, that can also turn into a sickness. But there's a time for everything, and I've just never been someone that talks about my inner issues. I've always just kind of, with a Sagittarius moon, I have a Sagittarius moon, keep busy, keep active. When I was working out, oh my God, with me, I love that one machine, oh my God, because I carry all stress on my shoulders. It just releases and cleanses all the energy out of your system. You have to understand, all my life I've taken on other people's problems and issues. So their energy, stagnant energy, I would help them. I would so-called heal them and find solutions for them. And their energy would stick to me. So it becomes my problem. And the working out and the keeping busy and keeping active would get rid of naturally that tension and that energy. And because I'm not physically active like before, and I'm not physically active not because I choose to be, it's because my circumstances has just kind of crushed me into this safe zone, safe environment, which is not really safe, but I'm supposed to be here. This energetic portal of vibrational something that I probably missed or skipped years back because I highly advanced myself on an energetic level, on an ascension of awareness, on a frequency. I accelerated like crazy. So there's probably certain aspects of my personal development that I kind of like stopped because I went through so much life and death experience that I couldn't feel pain. Like I've told so many people, you could hit me, you could punch me. I wouldn't feel, I would smile because after a certain point, abuse, it becomes, you don't feel. So the fact that I couldn't identify that I can't feel was an issue. That's an issue, you know? So now we're just kind of getting out of that, refeeling a lot of stuff, and sometimes it gets extremely overwhelming. But, and to those who are like sending me like messages saying, oh, listen to some sound therapy. I love music. I always 24/7 have music going on, but I'm not going to lie, the meditation isn't for me at this point. It's irritating me. Binaural sounds and just sound therapy is irritating me. Like I said at one point, like even tuning forks, singing bowls, frequency, like DNA repair frequencies, all those hertz. It used to help so much, but remember at that time I was doing it to kind of escape from feeling pain. I'm not supposed to escape that. I'm not sitting here 10 years of allowing myself to feel pain where I'm like, I need to go on meds and stuff, but because I don't believe in that shit. Because I believe if you are going through some form of a depression and you're on a pill, then eventually that's gonna turn into a long-term disease. So remember, I'm a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. And I'm a psychologist that believes in multiple types of therapy. There's different types of psychologists. You can't put all psychologists in the same box. There's a lot of psychologists that just want this and don't care about you. But just like everybody, like meaning there's good and bad workers everywhere. There's good and bad construction workers. They just don't care about their job. Like, that's a different thing. But anyways, guys, February the 1st. So if you're at that point in your life where you're like, have been like me, and you're just feeling all this, what's going on with me? Like I remember 2020, 2021, I couldn't even figure out what was going on with me. I'm like, what's going on with me? I've been in this state of changing my identity in a sense of, when I say changing my identity, meaning everything I've lived up to this accordance is worked. I've manifested everything I've said I would. I've created and I've done things. A lot of it has been given in transfer to other people because long term, it's not supposed to be what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm a community worker. I'm a collective. I'm not just me. I'm powerful enough to know that I'm not just me. When I've made videos in the past saying, oh, it's time to practice being self-centered, I'm self-centered. I don't mean a selfish gimme, gimme, gimme. It's only for me. Self-centered in a way of centered in the self. For people who have contacted me to tell me I'm egoistical, if I thought someone was egoistical, whether they're on YouTube, I don't know them, or if I thought I know someone and they're egoistical, I wouldn't contact them. I wouldn't feel the need to be around that person. So it's interesting how people who have said I'm egoistical have gotten out of their way to contact me and tell me I'm egoistical when they don't get what they want from me, because it's like the fact that you can't identify that it's you that is the egoistical one, because if you aren't, you wouldn't be triggered by me. Do you get what I'm saying? You wouldn't be triggered by who I am or what I'm representing or what I'm saying or the fact that this, so on and so forth. There is a fine line between me and you and how you're getting in here, how you're talking to me. And if you can't identify that you yourself have an ego, and it is your ego that's telling you that you believe I'm an egoistical person, there's an issue there that you can't identify with yourself. And it's far more easier for you to say, I am this way. There's a lot of things I am, and there's a lot of things I am not. But if you can sit there as a healer, as a teacher, as a guide, as a practitioner, as a reader, as a whatever you believe you are, and sit there and start nitpicking at what this person is or isn't, but you want to talk to them and be around them, then I'm sorry, but you have an issue yourself. This is why I withdraw and I stay away from people. It's not because I can't stand people. It's because I can. I can stand criminals. When I say I can, meaning I can deal, I've been around them. I can deal in a psychological way, on an emotional way, without emotions being involved. In a professional manner, I can totally deal with that. I've been around a lot of shit my whole life. But if you cannot identify what's going on inside of you, then that's the biggest egoistical thing that you yourself cannot see. You know? So, I don't know. The mere fact that people, when they get defensive that they don't have an ego, of course I have an ego. I'm not saying I don't have an ego, but I always check on myself and I humble myself out, bro. Like, fuck. I humble myself out. The fact that I have tattoos all over my body living in Gumbri, that should go to show you that my ego would be humbled out. Excuse me, I have a client. Okay, so I'm back. Yeah, so I'm gonna end up closing this video because I just feel like I just want to end the video. So it's 2/1/2022. I think this entire year is going to be a good manifestation year. So whatever does happen and unfolds in your life, take it with a grain of salt and start to move forward. Even if you have to step back a little bit and go backwards and find that you need to correct some altered things or fix some mistakes that you've made, and above all, don't force relationships and friendships, guys. Have some dignity. If you want to talk it out with someone, that's different. But just don't force anything, because don't force anything. Yeah. All right, talk to you soon. Ciao, ciao.